Singapore's Prime Minister Loong says Singapore and Indonesia have achieved much over the last 10 years and have kept the bilateral relationship in good shape. Mr. Lee spoke following discussions with President Joko Widodo at the Singapore-Indonesia Leaders Retreat. Mr. Lee says the close relationship has enabled both sides to resolve problems and to move forward on cooperation. Saifulbahri Ismail reports from Bogor.
The 7th Singapore-Indonesia Leaders Retreat is the last for Prime Minister Hsien and President Joko Widodo. Both men will be stepping down this year. The personal friendship between Mr. Lee and Mr. Widodo developed during their time in office. It laid the foundation for strong relations between Singapore and Indonesia. Mr. Lee took the opportunity to pay tribute to the outgoing Indonesian president.
With vision and leadership, he has put Indonesia on a strong economic trajectory, confident and optimistic about its path ahead, and raised ASEAN's standing as a participant in international affairs with a view which is worth listening to and with a contribution which will make a difference. It has brought stability and progress to Indonesia and to the entire region.
Mr. Lee also thanked Mr. Widodo and his ministers for their role in resolving long-standing bilateral issues. He highlighted the 3 landmark deals on airspace, defense and extradition, which entered into force last month.
And where there have been issues which have had to be dealt with, we've been able to deal with them appropriately and in a manner which keeps the overall relationship stable and resolves the specific problems.
Mr. Widodo said the Leaders Retreat is a strong signal for continuity between Singapore and Indonesia.
Tadi saya dengan PM Lee telah membahas beberapa hal. Yang pertama di bidang politik dan pertahanan, kami menyambut baik telah berjalannya implementasi perjanjian FIR, pertahanan dan ekstradisi yang kedepannya perlu dipastikan implementasinya berjalan penuh.
During the Leaders Retreat, both leaders discussed future cooperation in the green economy. Mr. Lee said both sides are making good progress in facilitating cross-border electricity trading and exploring carbon capture and storage. They signed a deal on community empowerment in mangrove ecosystems. Mr. Widodo also invited Singapore to participate in the construction of the country's new capital city, Nusantara, in East Kalimantan. The Leaders Retreat in Indonesia is Mr. Lee's final overseas trip as Prime Minister. Looking back at his tenure over the past 20 years, Mr. Lee said Singapore has held its own internationally.
We've managed to promote cooperation, to contribute to discussions in many global forums, played our part in climate change and CPTPP, RCEP, more initials than you want to remember. But each one helping to make ourselves useful and therefore securing our place in the world and giving us a slightly bigger spot in the sun. And long may that continue.
Deputy Prime Minister Lawrence Wong is set to take over from Mr. Lee on May 15th, while Indonesian Defence Minister Prabowo Subianto will succeed Mr. Widodo in October. From the present leadership to the next, Singapore and Indonesia are committed to look ahead, build on the strong foundation and expand cooperation. Mr. Lee said he's glad that Mr. Widodo and him are handing over the bilateral relationship in good state to their successors, and he has every confidence that the new leaders will continue to bring the relationship to greater heights. Saifulbahri Ismail, CNA, Bogor.